So here you have a circle of clouds. They love spraying these clouds in a circle. Take a look here. It's an imitation of the Eye of Horus. It's not really an imitation, but they love putting their signs and symbols in the clouds, and a lot of people have no idea what it means. This looks to me like it was like an apex of a vortex. They're constantly spraying vortices in the sky to bring in demons and to swirl up the air. Take a look back here. It's clear, and you don't see too many frequent flyers this afternoon. And I think that's because tomorrow is the Ides of March, and the sky will be relatively clear. But look at this. The last couple days where it was so warm, this was off. You see how they do it? Either they have their wind, or their fog, or this, or all three. And it's all a weather manufacture, but it's not really weather, because weather doesn't need to be manufactured. Take a look here. You've got this blue blob in front of the sun. Anyway, I'm just speculating on why they're not spraying. You see, the thing is, if these frequent flyers that we saw, for example, yesterday, all day long, were really commercial airline, commercial flights run on schedule. But these frequent flyers are not on a schedule. Either there's a whole bunch of them, or there's only several, and then there are lots. Sometimes they're way, way up high. Like when it was real cold here at night, they sprayed way up high. Because the thing is, if they don't spray, let's say they quit spraying today, and they didn't spray all day tonight or tomorrow, well, guess what? The temperature would drop. It would the bottom would completely fall out. How do I know this? Because I've lived here in Disturbia long enough to know that it's cold here in Disturbia. You can have snow in May. We had snow in May in 2017. I mentioned this so often. I don't know why or how it is that people have forgotten. My best guess is that people are under strong hypnosis, strong hypnotic influence. Look over there, it's relatively clear. I mean, it's still a bluish white. Normally, it used to be that the sky was a deep blue. But the thing is, if you incrementally change what people look at every day, first of all, they don't look at it anyway, and they don't really appreciate it, but they forget. I mean, over 20 years, people have forgotten what the real sky looks like. People have forgotten that clouds are not blue. The sky is blue and clouds are white. Clouds do not look like paste up against the sky. The sun is not hot in January, February, March, April, May, or even June. The sun here in Disturbia doesn't really gain its highest strength until July. And then it's only a couple weeks, just as everything under God's law. This is all fake here, by the way. We had some real clouds today, but they're slimed out. And then we've got this crap here. Look at it. We've got the 12 seasons, and the temperature gradually goes up, and the temperature gradually goes down. The same thing is within a day. The temperature will go up, and as the sun goes down, it gets cooler. But it was relatively cool all day long today. And then at around 4 o'clock, it started getting warmer. And of course, in the summer, it's really awful. And that's why we have daylight savings time. Because it gets warmer and warmer and warmer all day long. And then they have the sun shining until 11 o'clock. So that gas is being disseminated all day long and half the night. Because when this gas is emitted by the Glow-Baal until 11:30. It stays warm all night long, and you have to ask yourself, normally, if the heat is from the sun, when the sun goes down, it should get cold. It should get cool as long as the sun's going down. And when the sun is gone, it should get cold, but it doesn't, especially in summer. That's what I'm talking about. Like now overnight, it's probably 11 degrees. You know, but if they would quit spraying altogether, I mean, can you imagine? That's the beauty of God's creation, is that it can heal itself, and it does heal itself. The minute they stop spraying, bam, things go back to normal. Take a look at here. They're building, 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 building. Why is it? Every green patch has to be built up. Somebody said, well, that's because they're not earning any money with it. But I'll tell you what, money is going to disappear because money is alchemical. Money is magical. That's why it has symbols and sigils on it. Money is not worth anything. I mean, look at Benzene. The prices have more or less, for all intents and purposes, more or less doubled. And they doubled overnight. There's a talk of a rumor of war in Ukraine, and bam, the prices go up overnight. Now we're paying more for diesel than we're paying for benzene. For years, it was always benzene was, I don't know, 20, 30 cents more than diesel, and now it's the opposite, even though diesel isn't that much more than benzene, but just wait. Just wait. And money only has value because the forces that should not be say that it has value. I mean, it, like I say, just like with the example of the benzene, or anything, land, or what people are paid. Money has only value, or same with gold, same with silver. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. Well, who decides? Who decides? There's got to be somebody out there who's making the decisions. That's why if there's a person behind it, and I do mean a person and not a man or a woman, somebody who's wearing a mask, because that's what person means. Person means someone who is wearing a mask and playing a role. This is your fiction. This is your fiction, and this is fiction is attached to the number that they've given you. I mean, you go anywhere, they don't want to know your name, they want to know your birthday. Well, what on earth is the difference? I mean, unless my name is Todd Smith or John Jones or God knows what. But anyway, money is alchemical. Money is going to disappear. And we know that because I was talking to somebody today, and she was going on about money. And I said, the thing about money is that it's going to disappear soon anyway. So it doesn't matter how much money you have saved. With a press of a button, bam, it's gone. It'll disappear. Not only that, but oh, geez, I'm never going to get out of here. Not only that, but they can take away your house. They can take away your car. They're going to completely disenfranchise us. And the reason why they can do it, it's not because of any laws, because there's only God laws. There's only 10 commandments. The reason they can do it is because they have the weaponry and they have the army to do it. That's the only reason it's called might makes right. And that is the law of the land. And it's not even a law. It's complete lawless. Look at this Glow-Baal here. My goodness sakes. The sun is a little yellow light. Look at how they're just draping it over with that blue crap. And then as soon as the blue crap burns off, then you've got the Glow-Baal. I'm just asking you to observe the sky. Just every now and then during the day, take a look and see what it's doing. It does have an effect on you because I was telling my neighbor the other day, he said, I never really paid much attention to it. It's interesting because he knows everything about everything, but he has no idea what's going on in the sky. And I'll tell you what, I don't really believe that. There are people who know, and then they want to change the subject real fast. Just take a look at this. You think that's normal? The thing is covered and it's glowing all of a sudden. The longer it's covered, the more it glows. And look at the blue crap on there. A lot of times I film in it, I don't know, after the fact, I see green on there and all different kinds of colors. But anyway, my neighbor said, I never really paid much attention to this guy. And then all of a sudden, bam, he had to get back to work. He changed the subject. Or a friend of mine who I've She actually is quite a good friend. But I do suspect that she might be a Freemason or an Eastern Star or whatever. And she was telling me, we were talking about something, I can't remember what exactly. And it had to do with people who just seem to get away with everything, and they're above the law on that. And I said, well, maybe this person that you're talking about is part of the Brotherhood. And she went quiet. I mean, I'm not saying that that's proof, but she got quiet. And I said, she didn't ask me what I meant, though. She just didn't say anything. And I said, yeah, you know, these people who belong to the Brotherhood, they can do whatever they want. And they are completely impervious to the law. And I gave an example of a friend that I had once. He was drunk driving and he lost his license. Well, he got it back again, and he was drunk driving again, and he lost his license twice, and he got it back again. Now, this is normally unheard of, and I said, you know, he never admitted it to me, but he knew quite a bit about the occult, and I said, I do believe he was part of the Brotherhood. And she still didn't say anything. I said, you know the Freemasons? And she said, those Freemasons, they went out of style in the 1700s. And then she changed the subject. And so I'm not trying to say that this is proof, but I did find it, all things considered, very strange, because we had this conversation, and then another time a reasonable facsimile of it, and the outcome was the same both times. It was, there is no such thing as Freemasonry. That went out of style a long time ago. Look at the sun. Look at it. You know what Isaiah said about the sun in the last days? He said it would shine 7 times brighter, and the moon would shine like the sun. And guess what? We're there.